I mentioned about this synchronization, and this button zoom in. You don't have to click this button. Shortcut, Echoview has a shortcut. Right click. You can see zoom in S. Many people using a lot with the data, huge in the data, so that one mouse and shortcut. So like S S S W W W, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. Another is this scaffold I mentioned about. Like, look at this. When I move around, you cannot read, but when I move in white background, it has a minus 98, sometimes minus 74. But there are some values, but I cannot see. It's all in white because of threshold, the color threshold. And I will change. This is shortcut. I can change. Right click on the color minimum, display minimum. I can manually. Did I? Yeah. See. And now minimum color threshold is minus 80. On zoom, this is like that. And sometimes this minimum threshold is important because which one you want to focus. Now you can see, lots of things. And when I have a minus 65, it's like empty, nothing there. And shortcut F11, F12. This is you can use it here, but shortcut F12. If I have too strong threshold, it's almost nothing. But if I have F11, it's minus 90, full of signals. Okay. So I mentioned about the SP is reflective strengths, reflective properties. So always in the there, always something is in the there, but which minimum threshold we wanna use. And at the moment we are macro, so minus 70, 75, whatever, and appropriate. So, and checking your data, F11, F12. F11 is a weaker threshold. F12 is a strong. So now you can see, okay. So minus 70, minus 70, and okay. And we have to decide in which signals are macro, so that we the net sampling. Say we had a net sample, and there is one more button, EV5 property. There is many things, but I would like to mention class here. I can say, I put here, I make class is say noise, and I say one more, and trolling. I can put trolling, or I can say, we had a CTD experiment. I can put CTD. So now we have a noise. Noise is our property. Noise is a diamond. What about scissors? And troll. Like say we had a troll survey. Here, troll location. I can mark. Control J is only one pin reason. And one pin means I can zoom in. Only one pin. This is one pin. But still reason. And And type, yeah, I can marker or whatever, but I can say troll. Okay, so troll station number 2. Say if you have a lot of anchovy, it's macro. What I'm thinking, macro. You found in macro, whatever you can write. Okay, and zoom out. So you had a survey. Say this is a troll and control. You don't have to control that, whatever. But and this is a troll number 0. And so I will open view cross. So I can see, I can pinpoint here, troll, here, troll. What about after troll we have a CTD? If you have in a CTD, there is actually mark CTD. And say there is a CTD, 1 CTD station, and to close, yeah, CTD here. CTD mark is not visible. I will change in CTD download. So you can see in the CTD and troll. And this is very short data, so easy to handle, easy to have a look. But you have a month in the data, you have a lot of lines and a lot of noise. You have the troll, you have the CTD, and so you do better put some symbols and then try to understand what echogram you have. So Echoview has a feature, again, e-verify property and class, and you can make and class, and not only noise, troll, CTD, you can have the macro. Or you can have different species, unknown species. So whatever you can put macro, yeah, shadow circle. So when you say obviously there is a macro. Yeah, here is a macro. You can see. And if you have your transact line, and then you can see where your macros are and where your trolls are and CTDs are. And another is so I use the rectangle selection. So I can have I use this vertical example. This vertical, I can have this noise, and I can have I can here select S is when I move here, and hands, as you see this is window things, and this button polygon, and close, and define reason, not noise, macro, like that, and then analysis. And Echoview has 3 different type. Analysis is yellow, and I will analyze the data. Marker is just marker, I mark, and the bad data, no data. So I don't exclude, it doesn't include in the data, okay? So I mentioned about reason and some selection tool here. I can delete all features, all reasons, echogram. Here, reason editor, and reason editor, and reason, or type, or class, whatever I will say on class, except or class, and delete reason. Or you can change in time, you can change in class, even though you can change in the dimension, depths and time, but I can delete. So it asks, it affects 8 reasons. Do you want to do? Yes, and then it's gone. Okay, and I would like to say here value property. Second is echogram display, and button here echogram display limits. Automatically set display limits based on load pin. I will show you what I mean, like say 500 meter. So this raw data, collected data up to 400 meter. Okay, so when I close to here, nothing, no data. This is a very weak signal, and here nothing, no data. So Echoview doesn't put color. So this raw data here, raw data, and saved up to 400 meter. Okay, and but I decide I'm gonna to go 300 meters, 310 meter. So I will focus on from 0, 310 meter. So I can focus on 0, 310 meter, and I can show you this meaning of a block box. We can say right click and in show cell SV, and this box is a pin, PIN, or cell, CALL, cell. We say cell or in a bin. This time every 300 meter and 50 meter, and Echoview display SV. Right click and cell mask, the orange color. I mentioned about mask, to be able to get density, fish density, or biomass at the end, and we need a mask, or we need an SV. Echoview gives you SV and mask. This is only visualization, only in the screen, and you can see here in the cross. This in a cell. Here I can show you. This escape is gone, and like once more, show cell SV. I cannot show you the same one. So right click. And you can see here cross, because this and it doesn't include below this data, but that value is from beginning here to here. All right, so that you have how to hang on. Yeah. So that value is start here and above this in the bottom line. Okay, but this in the cell and data sets in here, so that display center of this in the cell. But here doesn't include any data, so they're in the cross. And zoom out. And Echoview has a, let's say, what about I can export all min file. I mentioned about this I, this control I, why control I doesn't work. And I can export this value and echogram, export, analysis by reason, integration, analysis by cell, because I delete all reasons, but I have a cell integration. So test as export, cell test, and CSV file, and reading, and zip check, no zip check. Here, cell test, CSV file. So Excel file, and I will. The Echoview, that is interval. Somehow the computer always start in a 0. I don't like it, but here interval and layer, and this is a layer, and layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Okay, here interval 0, 1, 2, something like that. So this is in a bin. Echoview core cell. Okay, so we had this value in the first, 0 interval and 1 value, last value, and 0 interval, layer 2, 0 interval, layer 3, something like that. So that from beginning to the end, in every single cell has a SB, bin SB, and bin mask, other other results.
For me.
And I will quickly explain. I can quickly explain school detection. And Echoview has a module. I may explain a little bit later. And here, valuable property, date, it is important. I have 10 minutes, so after lunchtime, I may explain a little more school detection, but from this time, I just using default setting show what school detection means. And the target species is in a macro, right? So macro. So I made in a macro. And so there is a EV file property and schools here. Here is a default setting. I can explain how Echoview works within these parameters. So I use default setting and going to echogram, detect schools and macro, and this is just a click delete. I can do it many times, existing 2D regions with this class first. So I can delete and then detect. And it's not nice. And Echoview so what Echoview does, I can change parameters and to have a different result, and but this is a result from default setting. And here button reasons, and there are 129 reasons and signed by macro. And here I will click this button. And when I click here, detection setting, these schools detected with these settings, and I will export echogram, export. Now is reason integration, and all classes export, and school detection SD desktop, and going to the school detection, and here class macro, minus, ask, height, whatever, and I will give you one. So this is 129. Okay, so this is ID. So school detection has more features. I won't go over detail. I will have like say the school has a length, thickness, height, altitude, the distance from the sea bottom, and the depth information, and area. So all parameters calculating whenever I export. And to this EV5 property, here is export. There are many buttons. This is default setting. And if I go integration schools here and click length, thickness, parameters and whatever, some relating to morphological like school shapes and positioning information. And I will quickly show one more and then I will stop. I mentioned about this is 38 kilohertz. This is the data flow. At the moment, just display what raw data is. So this is T2. This is I draw the bottom line using T2 and right click, new, variable, and reason bitmap. And I'm using SVT2, 38 kilohertz, and I'm using macro all. So I can select what's the difference between this and that. Again, this auto synchronization. I prefer when you drag bottom. So this is a reason bitmap. I will select. Whenever you define reason marker, this is true. You can see the here true, and other parts are false. This is a bitmap, okay? And then I can do right click whenever you need to make new echogram. You can using many operators, mask, you can see mask, and I was still using 38 kilohertz, 38 kilohertz, mask, no data, yeah. And so this arrow means this reason bitmap from SP, and this mask using 38 kilohertz. I can change in name if it's confusing. This is a 38, something like that, okay? So 38 kilohertz, reason bitmap and mask. So what difference between so here, and I made data, there's nothing, no plankton, no squid, only macro data. And to able to get biomass, especially non-ask value, I can do using, I can sell whatever, I can make different cell size, grid, and people like 1 multichromite, whatever, and entire watercolor 1,000. So 1 nautical mile, I can do. Sorry, I need to do this, and I need to do that. So that is my result. My result marker, I would like to have a mean SP, non-ask value, every 1 nautical in a mile. The water column doesn't matter from beginning to the end. So I show the screen, and I can export this in the data. So very quickly, I mention the basic demonstration, what data flow means. Not only display what raw data is, and you will surprise some people. Data flow is crazy. They do a lot of things, but this is a calculation. Whenever you do a lot of steps, more time is required. And yeah, so this is a basic and Echoview demonstration. And do you have any question?
Basic.